Well, hello and welcome to this module which I've called Choosing a Niche. I could have called it Choosing a Niche and Product Creation because I'm going to talk a little bit about product creation as well as a way of introduction to that. They do walk hand in hand after all. I get a lot of people asking me that is the make money niche online too saturated for me to make any money myself? Well, it is true that there are more product creators and marketers today than there ever has been, but it will actually grow and grow, so there'll always be a market there. I think the real answer is that you get kind of like a two-tier system, really. People come online and know very little or nothing, with just maybe a few ideas, and they're seeking guidance, so instantly they start to purchase products. Often they purchase products from other marketers who are actually only a stage or so ahead of them, in the fact that they've been online for a very short time, but they've learned a little bit more. And this is a consistent pattern, so it just goes on and on. After you, if you are that person, after you've been online a few months and you've learned a few things, you too will probably sell to people that are below you coming in. And it does kind of work that way all the way through. So no, the market's not too big. There are more product creators selling to other product creators than there ever have been, but there's still plenty there for everyone. And in fact, it will just keep growing as far as I'm concerned. Everything evolves, always remember that. Now, when people first come online, they tend to jump into the make money niche, forgetting that there are hundreds and hundreds of other niches and markets that they could be involved in. In fact, it's not very easy to get into the make money niche if you're not actually making money. You've heard of the saying, I'm sure, fake it to make it. That's quite commonly used. I don't like it. I don't think people should do it. It's you're selling yourself short. People see through it these days because generally the public, the people online aren't easy to fool. People are smart. They know when you're just lying into your teeth and pretending to be something you're not. So just don't do that. It's just not worth it. But the way you can do it is to get some leverage. So in other words, you can use somebody else who is more successful than you, and maybe interview them, and you instantly have a product then. I mean, that's an instant product. Because you can say, well, I've interviewed so-and-so, and this is his thoughts or her thoughts on this subject, and people will want to see that. Most people will actually like an interview because it kind of helps them as well. It promotes their work and brands them. So, I mean, that's a great way of doing things. It's not a new idea. People have been doing that for ages. But it gives you a step into the make money niche without actually having made any yourself. And of course, then, once you've made some money and sold a product, whether that's an audio product, a video product, you can do it on Skype these days, you have something that's given you some leverage because you've now made some money, so you can now show people how you did it, and there you go, it starts, the ball's rolling for you. That's one way of doing it. The other way is the fact that you can sell a service, because that's the easiest way, I think, to get into make money online niche. You create something, you find something that you can do easily. Maybe you can make videos, maybe you write articles. Everyone's always looking for content. You have a service of some kind. If you've got a service that's easy to sell, and there you are, suddenly you've made some money, and then you can show people how you made money, and the ball's rolling that way again. So there's always ways into that market, and it's not too saturated. But I think it makes more sense to actually start by picking a niche that you are already interested in. If you've got a hobby, something that you're doing on a regular basis, well, that means you've probably got a lot of knowledge about it. It may even be that you've got a job that I know we all want to get away from our job, but perhaps you've gained a lot of knowledge in that job. And that's really the way where I would encourage people to start. It's just easier because you're writing about things that you're interested in, or you're producing things that you're interested in, and that makes more sense. Always check that the market is big enough. it's it's not. You have to go on to sort of do some research. For instance, this is rather amusing, but I mean, I think there are over 112 different types of barbed wire in the UK, and there is actually a barbed wire collectors club. It's hard to imagine, but there are people that collect barbed wire from like the wartime. There was different types of barbed wire and different agricultural types of wire. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that field, but there are people who collect it. I would imagine that there aren't many, and I would assume that to be a market that wouldn't be very profitable to get involved in. But it just shows you there are tons of stuff out there, and yeah, so I wouldn't go down that route. But you do need to go onto like a Google keyword research tool and just find out if there's enough people searching for what you want to get involved in. And of course, then that gives you the chance to do this, burrow down and find your sub niches. For instance, if you were interested in golf, you feel you know quite a lot about golf. Golf itself is such a massive niche, it would be so difficult to rank websites and get involved in golf in that way. So you would try and burrow down the niche and find something like, I don't know, how to become a better putter or something, and you could break down to left-handed golfers and all sorts of sub niches, and you need to do that with every market you find in many ways. For instance, fishing. I mean, I'm not a fisherman, but fishing is a huge activity throughout the world, and much of that is a hobby side of things, recreation. I would think that it would be very difficult to build a website and get ranked on fishing very quickly. I don't know, I'm not an SEO expert, but I'm sure my JV partner Jason may agree. I'm not sure if he would or not, but I think it would be it would be certainly more difficult to get involved in a big niche where so many people are involved already. But if you went down into fly fishing and then you went down to specifics of certain kinds of fly that were used, and into artificial flies, and I don't know, I think you'll find other niches down further into it which you could concentrate on, and that would become easier. And so I'd always recommend burrowing down into niches and finding something, and you'll probably already know about it if it's a hobby, etc. And hobbies aren't the only place you can sort of find things. You can see what I've written here. I mean, Google at the bottom I've put simply because you should just do research, and you'll be amazed that when you research into one niche, how many other little sub ideas come out of it. Just literally just chasing through it. And never overlook magazines. Magazines are a wonderful way of finding niches that maybe you haven't been quite so interested in, but you become interested in. If there's a magazine out on a topic, then I guarantee there's a niche online for it, because those publishing companies do not spend the money to create magazines and books on a subject unless there's a big market for it. So magazines are a wonderful tool. If you just go through your local newsagent and look at all those different magazines, each one of those is a market, and then inside those magazines, when you read the different articles and things, you'll find sub niches. It's a fantastic tool. It's a great way of doing it. If you combine all three of those things, you will find so many niches to get involved in. It's just you never ever stop. And once you've found your niche, once you've found something that you're interested in, whether it be a hobby, whether it is internet marketing, whether it is something from a magazine, and you've discovered and you've done your research, and you now know that the market's there for it, there's plenty of people searching for answers and information on that market, you need to create a product. And although I'm not going to go into product development here in a big way, I just don't think it needs to be separately handled. You can easily start to create simple products. Maybe your giveaway product is like going to be a report or a short video. Now, a report can be just a few pages, really, to be honest, and as long as it's covering something that that people are looking for the answers for already. And another great way to research that is to go onto this side of the module here and look at places like eZine Articles, PRR sites, and the Warrior Forum itself. Now, eZine Articles is a fantastic tool if used properly. Not so popular now because the Google Panda or Penguin updates or some other unknown animal affected those sites quite a lot, but still useful to us for research. It's got its own search engine basically. You go inside and tap in your keywords. So this would be, in this case, be your niche that you discovered that you want to talk about. I don't know what it's, whatever that would be that you want to work in, and you'll find all the articles that are written on it already. Now, if I wanted to create a report really quickly in the next sort of 24 hours, what I would do is I would go into eZine articles, do exactly what I've just said, and I would pick out 5 or 6 or maybe even more articles on that subject. I would find a kind of zone to talk about, something that would people are looking for, and then I would pick out 5 or 6 articles, and I would basically take all the key points from each article and then repackage it, just rewrite it. Short report, a few bullet points, some bullet points for your sales page perhaps, and bang, you can just do that from eZine articles. There's no, it's not, you're not copying it, you're just taking all the key elements of it and repackaging it basically. PLR sites, great way as well. There are so many, I just can't mention them all. I couldn't even start mentioning them. There's thousands. There are some very good ones out there. Some are paid, some are free, and you can usually get a trial on one and you can join it for a month quite cheaply. And they give a variety of stuff. There is bad PLR. PLR gets bad press actually, but if you get good PLR and belong to a company that's producing its own work, you can find some really, really good stuff. Now, I'm not saying take the PLR and just create a product straight from it, not as is. I would always recommend rewriting it. And why not get 2 or 3 PLR reports and then just take all the most interesting parts out of it, the bits that make sense to you, the bits you'd like to talk about, and just blend them together. Create a brand new thing, get a new cover, bang, you've got a product. You can do that in 24 hours. It's the simplest thing, and this is product creation at its base level, but it's the kind of product creation that you will want to do first to start getting subscribers. So, very important and really quite easy to do. This isn't hard work. If you just write it down basically, put it down on a notepad, and your systematic way that you want to do things, you'll actually find you can create these products very, very quickly and at very little expense. I've put the Warrior Forum down here. Obviously the Warrior Forum is internet marketing related, make money related really. There are some subsections in it, but mostly it's on the make money niche, and you may want to be involved in the make money niche, so there's no problem there. The Warrior Forum is a great place to be if you want to learn things. It's also a dangerous place to be if you're a newbie, because there are so many distractions and there are so many people trying to sell you the magic button type business in a box stuff that I hate so much. But it is a great place for information. I think you could basically learn everything there is to learn at the Warrior Forum. You just have to sift through the rubbish, because there are people peddling rubbish out there. Not so easy to do when you're a newbie, but you kind of do get hardened to it quite quickly. The war room's very effective. There's a lot of people giving stuff away in there. That's the whole idea of the war room. Again, there is rubbish being given away, but there are some good stuff. In fact, I've got 2 very good reports in there. So I would say that's a great learning centre. If you go in and decide, I'm not buying anything, I just want to learn, and you'd be amazed if you pick something that you're interested in. If you just think, what do I want to get involved in? Because the make money niche is so massive. There's just so many different ways of making money online. Now, you just pick something that you want to be involved in, something you feel you'd like to learn, and if all you did was learn about that subject for the next 30 days, you'd have more knowledge than probably 90% of the people out there. And that's amazingly quick you can get yourself sorted. That's what I would recommend doing if you were going into the make money niche. Get in there, pick a sub niche, say I'm going to learn everything there is to know about it, and you'll find that you won't look back. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say there. I want to keep this nice and short. I can sort of go on too much sometimes, and I'm aware that these short videos become quite long videos if I'm not careful. So there you have it. That's how to choose a niche. I mean, it's certainly, we've not gone into any depth, but it gives you a good idea how to do that. And your first report to go with your niche can be done by those three 3 bits of research over there. Don't overlook Google. Google's a fantastic tool to, it's there for us to do it, to research from. Do always do your keyword research. Pick out your keywords. And we'll do another module on a little bit more into depth with the creating products, because we need to know a little bit about SEO and a little bit about keywords and how to use them these days, because that has changed when we create our product. But this should give you enough ideas to go along with. And any questions you've got, please just ask Jason or myself, because that's what we're here for. So thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you on the next module.